a bit of technical difficulty, which I'm sure every teacher understands. The best lesson, everything's set up, and then it's ready to go, and something doesn't work. So we were just modeling for you how coolly you handle that, and not even a bleep. First of all, thank you to Mr. Archie Hatton and the University High School Mighty Trojan Band. It is a pleasure to stand before you as we begin. Please have a seat. If I didn't know better, I would think I was in a Baptist church with all these back row Baptists here, okay? Yeah, they've got nothing on us. Public education is unique in that it begins anew every year. Whatever was accomplished last year and whatever we did not do well is behind us. Ahead, and notice how you ignored the person who's trying to get everything set up. Ahead, thank you. Ahead is a new school year full of new opportunities and new challenges. Would you please stand for the posting of the colors by the University High School JROTC, followed by the singing of the national anthem by David Ibarra, Senior, University High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Not only does America have talent, University High School has talent. We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Jeanette Contreras.
Will you please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. You may be seated. And the band. One more round for the band. I'd like to introduce those who provide the direction and framework within which WISD changes the lives of students, our Board of Trustees. For those of you who are first-year teachers, We have a first-year board member who is probably quite sympathetic to your newness, Mr. Colbert Murphy and his family. Colbert, can you talk a few words for the brand-new teachers? I mean, just your sympathy and understanding. Mr. Larry Perez. Mr. Norman Manning, Secretary. And Mr. Pat Atkins, President, who brings you greetings from the board.
Good morning. I'll start with a couple of questions. How many of you saw Donna Beagle speak earlier this week at the Farrell Center? How many of you arrived at the Farrell Center a little before 7:30 to hear Donna Beagle speak Monday morning? How many of you subsequently learned and now know that the program actually didn't start till 10 minutes after 9 Monday morning? By my count, we owe you 1 hour and 40 minutes. We need to find some way to give you back 1 hour and 40 minutes that you can go spend on your campuses and your classrooms, so I'm going to do my part. I'm going to be short and sweet. On behalf of the Waco School Board, welcome to another school year. And as you move forward into this school year, don't forget that every one of you has a unique opportunity to be an agent of change in the life of a child. Make the most of that opportunity, make that connection, and have a great year.
Thank you, Mr. Atkins. We would now like to honor teachers who have been helping students for quite some time. Would the board please help us do that? If you'll come down here, we have flowers. There are 11 teachers with the greatest longevity. 7 are in the University High School feeder pattern, and 4 are in the Waco High feeder pattern. Board members, as I call the names, please assist in showing our appreciation for such a commitment to the classroom and to students in Waco ISD. And teachers, when you get down here, we're going to ask you if you would share at least one secret to successful teaching. With 34 years of experience and currently teaching in the Credit Recovery Lab at the Wiley Opportunity Center, Ms. Tanya McLeod. She's right there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mic check. Mic check. We're having technical problems.
That's good.
Can you loudly give them one secret?
Love the children, love your job.
Amen.
Also with 34 years of experience and currently teaching supplemental instruction at Alta Vista Elementary, Karen Kemp. Okay, well, Miss Logan, would you come and accept the flowers? With 36 years of teaching experience and currently teaching special education resource at Alta Vista Elementary, Miss Amanda Mitchell.
Ms. Mitchell, I have one question. 36 years is a long time, very, very long time. And what in 36 years, what have you seen throughout those 36 years?
Well, there's always been well, for me, a love of the children and the desire to see success from the children.
Thank you and congratulations. Have a good year.
Okay. Because of the technical, oh, here comes our technician. So we're going to give the mic one more try. With 37 years of teaching experience and currently teaching special education resource at the Wiley Opportunity Center, Ms. Janice McDowell.
Well, good morning to you. So with the wealth of experience, what is something that you could offer to us, parents, educators, something that the new educators can take with them from the veteran, things that you would look to impart to the parents to add to the learning environment?
All I can say is, teaching at the alternative school 37 years has been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But I love teaching, and if I didn't love teaching, I wouldn't have stayed there so long. So just hang in there, take one day at a time, and just like when you played with clay, you have to mold those kids every single day with love.
With 37 and a half WISD years of experience and currently teaching economics and government at University High School, Ms. Teresa Norris.
All right, some of these questions are getting longer than my speech. So just, what do you want these folks to know? What would you share?
I treat every student as if it was my own biological child.
That's it.
Thank you. Congratulations.
With 43 years of teaching experience and currently serving as a supplemental instruction teacher at Hillcrest PDS, Ms. Vern Cotton.
I want more people to see. Well, after falling 3 years, I think you can. You know what? I don't even have a question for you. You've been teaching longer than I've been alive.
And I'm still alive to tell about it.
Hey, so what's the best?
Be passionate about what you do. Love, love, love. And when you think you've loved enough, love some more.
Last, but certainly not least, and actually first, our teacher with the longest serving time. That wasn't word very well. The longest service. With 44 years of teaching experience, currently teaching 3rd grade at Hillcrest PDS, And Waco ISD's teacher with the greatest tenure, Miss Sandra Jennings.
Wow. Ms. Jennings, I thought 36 was long, but 44, that's quite a few years. And I know you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot of children come through your life, and a lot of parents also. And of course, you know that parent involvement is very, very important to the child and very important to our school district. In the last 44 years, what can you tell these new teachers now that they can grasp from you on your success?
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Last year, you gave me just a few minutes, 1 minute, but I think after 44 years, I have more than one thing to say.
Take all your time.
One thing that I told you last year is that go to your classroom, close the door, and I also said listen to the students. But I want you to know this year is that the students should listen to you. And I want you to know that I know you've heard everything about rigor, relationship, but you cannot teach a child unless you have that relationship. If you have that relationship, the rigor will come. But you cannot go in there thinking that you can do it all in one day. So what my slogan is that, you know what, is that all children must behave so that all children will have an opportunity to learn. So I say to you, thank you.
Let's give her a big, big hand of applause.
Okay, now, you asked me about the parents and the children.
Yes, I did.
Okay, the children have not changed, but the parents have.
Yes,
okay?
I understand.
Thank you.
Another big hand, please.
We would now like to recognize those who went above and beyond on teaching the TEKS last year. The result of last year's STAR performance end of course tests have been analyzed, STAR performance and end of course tests have been analyzed, and general observations will be presented now. Please keep in mind that behind every one of these numbers is a child and the hopes and the dreams of a parent. This year, Crestview's STAR mathematics scores went up 20 percentage points. Carver's STAR mathematics scores went up 23 percentage points. This year, Brook Avenue's reading scores went up the most, from 38% to 54%, 16 percentage points. Whereas writing continues to be a struggle, the STAR writing scores at Provident Heights went up 14 percentage points. West Avenue went up 20 percentage points. Carver went up 22 percentage points. And Alta Vista went up 23 percentage points in writing. The top 5 superstar science campuses that brought up science mastery in order are Cedar Ridge with an improvement of 10 percentage points, then Waco High with an improvement of 12 percentage points, Dean Highland with an improvement of 13 percentage points, then the Science Whizzes at Brazos High School brought up their science mastery scores by 29 percentage points from last year to this year. Clearly, Brazos High was not snoozing in science, but neither were they snoozing in social studies. They increased their social studies scores by 34 percentage points, while University High increased their social studies scores by 39 percentage points. We can't say that it can't be done. Provident Heights was the top performing campus for increasing their overall performance level to advanced college readiness scores. For increased LEP performance, Cedar Ridge went from 17% to 61%, a 44 percentage point increase. The success of special education students is also a part of STAR. One campus increased its special education level 2 satisfactory standard by 10 percentage points. Jay Chines. Congratulations to Crestview and Dean Highland for showing continuous growth patterns in the percentage of student achievement in math across all state-tested grade levels. The success of English language learners is just as critical in ELL students in reading at South Waco went up 7 percentage points. These statistics prove that because of the efforts of teachers, administrative personnel, parents, support staff, and the Board of Trustees, we continue to work hard to ensure that more children are being given the tools they will need as adults. Tools they will need to compete and participate in the workforce. Tools they will need to provide for themselves and their future families. We are fully into STAR testing. Has STAR turned out to be the test to be feared that we thought? Not so in light of the quality of daily instruction our students have been getting and will continue to receive. And not so in light of this year's Index 2, which shows that while many of our students did not pass STAR, they made great growth in what they learned, and they got so close that next year is going to be awesome. Some WISD students come to us from solid, healthy families. Others come to us with lives that wind around them like heavy chains, keeping them on a continuum on a breaking process. We are their lifeline. In some cases, we're their only lifeline. It is our jobs to get students the education they need to break that cycle of poverty, the cycle of poor parenting, the cycle of alcoholism, the cycle of abuse, and the cycle of hunger. There was a day that many of you will remember when WISD student population was far different. 10 years ago, from this point, 10 years ago, the 2004-2005 school year opened with 15,518 students. Our expected enrollment is 14,731. Waco ISD has been in a steady enrollment decline as our schools are not seen as places of high quality instruction. Those Index 2 scores show that we are reinventing ourselves and we will change those perceptions. Really, I said we, but we know it was happening in the classroom. You will be the one to change that, and we will support you in doing that. 10 years ago, 16% of our students were Anglo. This year, 9% of our students are Anglo. 10 years ago, 37% of our students were African American. This year, 31% of our students are African American. 10 years ago, 47% of our students were Hispanic. This year, 58% of our students are Hispanic. 10 years ago, 81% of our students qualified for the free and reduced price lunch program. This year, 91% of our students will qualify for the free or reduced price lunch program. Currently, 60.4% of the state students qualify as having low socioeconomic status. In 10 years, the state's percentage of students from poverty grew by 5.8 percentage points, while Waco ISD's grew by over 10 percentage points. Poverty is the enemy of education. Poverty is the enemy of health. It is the enemy of peace. It is the enemy of innate opportunity. And it is the enemy of general well-being. Poverty is a tough enemy. Poverty is our enemy. Waco ISD has administrators, content area specialists, instructional specialists, diagnosticians, and a myriad of other support positions who work with teachers, parents, students, and the education system as a whole. However, at the end of the day, our part is small compared to what goes on in the classroom. What happens in the classroom with those students and with that teacher and with that effect of poverty. So it is with great pleasure that I introduce several members of the Waco ISD team of educators who were honored earlier this year for their excellence, hard work, and commitment to the children at their schools. Board, if you would help us honor, to begin with, our elementary teacher of the year, Haley Dean from Lake Air, Montessori. Flowers. A fellow teacher writes, "I am beyond grateful that I was able to watch and learn from Haley Dean during my first year of teaching. When I needed guidance, encouraging words, resources, or just a reassuring smile, Haley was there for me." One of Haley's students said, "Mrs. Dean is the best teacher I've ever had. She trusts us, motivates us to do our work, and in the true spirit of a Montessori teacher, she allows us to be independent." Please join me in recognizing Waco ISD's Elementary Teacher of the Year, Ms. Haley Dean, as she comes. It is reassuring to us when our WISD high school graduates choose to return and work with us in educating the children of this community. Would everyone in the room, even board members, who graduated from any Waco ISD high school, past or present, please stand so we may let you know how happy we are that you have chosen to come home. We will now salute campuses that made student performance the absolute focal point of their efforts last school year. Oh, Miss Ellis, Vanna White just showed up behind me, thank you. Just hand all those to hand them, he'll hand them to somebody. She said I oversold her, I don't think so. You are like Vanna White. We will now salute campuses that made student performance the absolute focal point of their efforts last school year and met standard. Of the campuses having met standard, 4 are in the University High Feeder pattern, and we will start with Bells Hill Elementary. Miss Bevel Cone. Miss Bevel Cone is the principal, and she is coming forward to the stage, and she will accept the plaque and Waco ISD's gratitude for all the hard work from Bells Hill. Our next plaque goes to Kendrick Elementary. Miss Julie Sapal, principal of Kendrick and the mayor of South Waco, will accept Kendrick's plaque as well as the appreciation of WISD. Brazos High School. Alternative high schools have their own accountability system, and Brazos High School met standard for that particular system. Miss Robin Wilson retired last year. Was she able to come? Miss Robin Wilson. Robin, come forward and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Miss Robin Wilson, last year's principal, will accept Brazos High's plaque as well as our thanks. Later on today, she will hand that off to Mr. Hanna, who woke up sick this morning and couldn't come to Convocation, which in case he was contagious, we were actually kind of glad. A lot of us here. Ms. Wilson has retired, but we convinced her to come back and be our AVID coordinator. So thank you, and keep sharing those great talents with us. Our last plaque has a principal who is like the legendary Yoda master who lives the mantra, do or do not do, there is no try. University High School and Dr. Bill Shepard. The 2014 state accountability ratings included distinction designations. 6 campuses earned distinction designations. 2 of them were in the Waco High, the University High Feeder pattern. We have a check and a Sodexo gift card, starting with University High School. With its 85% low SES student population, they earned a distinction designation in science. Dr. Bill Shepard, I hope you didn't go too far. Oh, there we go. Dr. Shepard is accepting a $150 campus gift certificate from Food Services for refreshments at an upcoming faculty meeting or lunch, and a $1,000 campus check for instructional supplies or campus or professional development. Where's Vanna? Oh, there's Vanna. Dr. Shepard, we just let you go back and sit down here. Your check. For $1,000, Dr. Shepard will come back. Okay. Okay. So they get. Okay. Getting a check and a plaque with 96% low socioeconomic student population, having been rated as Met Standard and earned a distinction designation for its academic achievement in math and one for reading ELA. Kendrick and Miss Julie Sapal. Miss Sapal, please return to the stage. We have a gift certificate for $100, a smaller campus, from Food Services to use this year with your faculty. You can celebrate as you see fit. You get a campus check for $2,000 because you got 2 stars. Last fall, our school board approved a new incentive program for campuses and teachers. Thank you, board, for recognizing that teachers working in districts with over 90% of its students from poverty have to work much harder and much smarter than in districts with fewer students from poverty. Component 1 of the incentive pay plan was monies for schools meeting standard, proportion to campus size, to do with as they see fit within reason. Component 1 monies for Waco ISD totaled $86,270. Thank you, board. Component 1 campus winners. Kendrick Elementary, with its 96% students from poverty, receives a campus incentive paycheck for $5,210. Bells Hill, with 97% of its students from poverty, receives a campus incentive paycheck for $8,230. With 85% of its students from poverty, receiving a campus incentive paycheck for $15,050 for his University High School, Dr. Bill Shepard. You guys may want to make friends with Dr. Shepard over there. He's loaded with money. Education is the work of educators, not the work of schools. Schools may enable, but they do not deliver instruction. Great schools do not occur without great teachers. Component 2 monies are for those teachers who went above and beyond in providing that wide array of instructional strategies necessary for our student population, and for being singularly and wholeheartedly focused on individual students, and for not giving up on any student. While the Component 1 campus checks have to be spent within reason on campuses, not so with the actual checks that are about to be delivered to teachers. The total incentive pay going directly to teachers is $75,937.50. Because of the amount of money and because they are actual checks, we left them overnight in a vault. Has our courier arrived with the checks? Mr. President, we have some money to deliver to some teachers. The total amount of Component 2 incentive pay monies for the University Feeder pattern totals $31,995 that we're about to hand out, with the highest single amount to one teacher being $2,485 before tax, title, and license. Ms. Belinda Rubio, principal for Hillcrest, please come forward to receive 3 checks totaling $1,250 and deliver them to your teachers. Thank you, Hillcrest. And Ms. Rubio, when you hand out that first check, it will be the first teacher pay incentive check for this. So this is momentous. Let's get a picture of this. So pick one. You got 3 checks there. Miss Sandra Jennings. Does he want to be introduced? Okay, thank you, and thank you, Hillcrest. You've got us started on a great path here. I'd like to introduce our courier here, for those of you who did not recognize, Mr. Alan Sykes, our board vice president. Thank you, Mr. Sykes. I had no idea that bankers had such a dramatic twist. But our next checks go to Alta Vista Elementary. Ms. Carmen Logan, please come forward and receive checks totaling $1,960 and distribute them and bring Miss Lorraine Randazzo with you, because she was the principal last year and this is her hard work and she can hand them off to you. Mr. Atkins, I'll just hand them to you. That's it. Our next set of checks, if Miss Stephanie Tankersley, principal for Lake Air Montessori, would make her way down here. Miss Tankersley, if you'd just follow that man right there. Miss Tankersley is the principal for Lake Air Montessori. She will receive 5 checks totaling $2,535, and she will deliver them to her teachers today. Our courier, did you see him unlock that thing? Okay, don't go far. Cesar Chavez, Mr. Anthony Luevanos. Mr. Luevanos, principal for Cesar Chavez, he is receiving 2 checks totaling $3,270. Miss Julie Sapal, principal for Kendrick Elementary, please come forward to receive 3 checks totaling $4,550 and deliver them to your teachers. Miss Bevel Cone, principal for Bells Hill Elementary. Please come forward and receive 7 checks totaling $7,675. Deliver them to your teachers. One in particular, Nolan Garrett, received $2,485. That is the highest single teacher amount for the University Feeder pattern. Congratulations to Bell Hill and Mr. Garrett. Last but certainly not least, Dr. Shepard, you might want to consider bringing one of your security guards down here with you, because you're about to receive and then give out 10 checks totaling $10,755 to your teachers. On to our superstars. WISD's 2013-14 Top 10 Superstar Teachers. Those teachers who maximize learning with low socioeconomic students will receive a $100 purchase order to school specialty teacher supply. Students labeled GT have been taken out of this category. Elementary cluster teachers had GT students removed from this list before calculations were applied, and secondary identified GT students were eliminated before the calculations were made. Only non-GT low SES students were counted for this set of awards. We actually have more than 10 because some of the groupings tied, so of the 12 teachers winning awards, 5 are in the University High School feeder pattern. Those teachers, counting down from 12, will each receive a certificate suitable for framing and a $100 school specialty supply gift card, except for the Top Gun. The Top Gun will receive a $200 gift card. Number 10 Superstars teachers, 2 of those teachers tied for 10th place at 84% of each low SES student meeting standard. University High's U.S. history teacher, Nicholas DeVost. Now we'll be skipping down because of the 2 feeder patterns. It gets kind of choppy, but the next 3 are ties in this group. 4th place at 89% mastery. Bells Hills, Nolan Garrett. Mr. Garrett, come forth. You are one hard-working guy. I believe Mr. Perez has something for you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Garrett. 89%. Kendrick's 5th grade math, reading, science teacher, Lena Ortiz. 89%. Bells Hill, 4th grade, reading, math, writing teacher, Jennifer Garza, 89%. I believe James Bond has got yours. Thank you, Ms. Garza. While Met Standard is one mark, commended performance is quite another. Identified gifted students were included when calculating the next category, WISD's 2013 and 14 Top 10 Star Commended Champs. These teachers maximize learning with low socioeconomic students, whether or not they were labeled as gifted. The teacher will receive a $100 open purchase order to school specialty teacher supply, except for Top Gun, who is in this room, who will receive a $200 open purchase order. As stated, great schools do not occur without great teachers who had the highest proportion of identified low socioeconomic students with commended performance. With ties, there are 11 teachers. Lake Air Montessori's 8th grade math, science, and algebra 1 teacher, Miss Haley Dean. 23% of her students gained commended status. She's not here. Here we can invite her. Thank you. Oh, we just had one for someone who's not here. Whoa. Belle, we will get you your certificate. 23%. Also, 23% of their students with commended status. Bells Hill's 5th grade reading teacher, Paula White. Ninth place commended champ with 25% of her low socioeconomic fifth grade math, reading, and science students at Kendrick Elementary reaching commended status, Karen Reeves. Eighth place, Bells Hill fourth grade reading, writing, and math teacher having taught 28% of her students to commended performance, Jennifer Garza. Fifth place, a Bells Hill teacher teaching fifth grade science and math, having brought 30% of his students to commended performance, Garrett Nolan. We're gonna clone that guy. Waco ISD's top gun for highest percent, 57% to be specific, of low socioeconomic students achieving commended performance, teaching U.S. history at University High School, Daniel Fleggy. Daniel is getting the $200 gift certificate, a banner for his wall, and a sign for over his door. Top gun. Waco ISD is fortunate to have a high-quality staff. Our students need that quality because not only is their world complex, their needs are complex, and their future will be complex, and we must maximize their potential. Maximizing the potential of all students means we welcome the households that exist, not those that we wish existed. We let them know they are welcome by having high expectation of their children, regardless of home environment. It also means we maximize each student's potential with inclusive and accountable systems. It means that we get on the same page about failure rates. There are differing viewpoints about failure rates. At one end of the continuum are those who believe that a certain percent of students should fail. Those espousing this view believe failure is all about high standards. They believe that it is not fair to students who learn material the first time not to be clearly distinguishable from students who struggle with the material and didn't learn it until the second or maybe the third time. At the other end of the continuum are those who believe our job is to teach all students, that the goal of each teacher is 100% success. They feel that every time a student fails, the student's teacher fails, the student's principal failed, the student's superintendent failed, that we are all in this to make certain that every child learns what we have to teach them. It must be all right with us if the first time material is presented to some students that they don't get it. When that occurs, it becomes a time to work more with that student, presenting the material in a different way, or then perhaps even in a different way. But when that student finally gets that aha moment, credit is given for learning the material because that's what we're about. Did they learn the material? Teaching is all about teaching. It is not about failing. Maximizing a student's potential means that there is a second chance to learn. This school year, let us be heroes to our children, not so much because we want to, but because there are no other options. May all of us have a great 2014-15 school year as both teachers and learners, and remembering that we have a God who stands by to help us just for the asking. I thank you for your attention. I thank you for choosing to dedicate your life to working with children. I thank you for choosing to practice your profession in Waco ISD. And know that I thank you for allowing me the privilege of serving you. Have a great school year.